let's talk about 7 everyday habits that, believe it or not, are technically illegal. You might be surprised to find out just how many laws you break before you've even had lunch. So let me just ask you straight up. Do you think of yourself as a law-abiding citizen? I mean, you're not out there robbing banks, you pay your taxes, you're one of the good guys, right? Yeah, I'm willing to bet you said yes without even blinking. But what if I told you that you're probably wrong? What if I told you that most of us break the law pretty much every single day? That's exactly what we're going to get into. We are counting down 7 super common habits that, while they might seem totally harmless, are technically against the law.
Okay, quick little disclaimer before we dive in. Laws can be really different depending on where you live, so please remember this is all just for fun and for your information. Definitely not legal advice. All right, you ready to find out if you're a secret outlaw? Let's go.
First up, we're going to start in the place we all spend a ton of time, the internet. Welcome to your very own digital crime spree. Let's see how you do. Okay, picture this. You're out somewhere, your phone's data is painfully slow, and you see it, an open Wi-Fi network. You just hop on for a second to check an email. It's totally harmless, isn't it? Well, legally speaking, that's called unauthorized access. Now, these laws were really written to stop serious hackers, but they're written so broadly that what you're doing is essentially digital trespassing. It's like walking into someone's house just because you noticed the front door was unlocked. All right, next one. Who here is sharing a streaming password with someone? You know, you give your Netflix login to your parents or your best friend who lives a few states away. It just seems like a nice, helpful thing to do. But if you've ever actually read the terms of service, and let's be real, who does that? You'd see it's a big no-no. Now, are the feds going to kick down your door? Probably not. But some have argued it could technically fall under federal computer fraud and abuse laws. Yikes.
How about this one? You're putting together a presentation for work, or maybe writing a blog post, and you need a good photo. So you pop over to Google Images, find the perfect one, right-click, save. We've all done it a million times. And almost every time, that's copyright infringement. See, just because a picture is online doesn't mean it's free for the taking. Unless it is specifically labeled for reuse, like with a Creative Commons license, that photo belongs to someone. Using it is basically stealing their work.
Okay, one last digital one. You're in a really tense conversation, maybe with your boss or a landlord, and to protect yourself, you discreetly hit the record button on your phone. You just want proof of what was said.
This one is a legal minefield, and it completely depends on where you are. In what are called one-party consent states, you're good to go as long as you are actually part of the conversation. But in two-party consent states, you absolutely have to get the other person's permission to record. If you don't, you're not just being sneaky, you could be committing a serious crime. So there you have it, 4 potential digital crimes. How's your score looking so far? Be honest with yourself. Are you 0 for 4, or maybe 4 for 4? Okay, let's log off for a minute and step away from the keyboard. We're heading out into the physical world, where the laws we break can be just as surprising. You go to the mailbox and you see another letter addressed to the person who lived in your apartment before you. It kind of looks like junk mail, so you just open it. What's the harm, right? Believe it or not, the harm is pretty significant in the eyes of the law. In the United States, it is a federal crime to intentionally open mail that is not addressed to you. It doesn't matter if it's a credit card offer or a birthday card from grandma, the mail is protected. Okay, now let's get in the car. You're driving up to a stop sign. You can see clearly in all directions that nobody is coming, so you just slow way down and kind of roll through it. You know, the classic rolling stop. As much common sense as that feels like it makes, the law is completely black and white on this. You either stopped or you didn't. If your wheels never completely ceased their rotation, then you ran the stop sign. It's a moving violation, plain and simple. And for our final habit, you need to cross the street, but the crosswalk is like 100 feet down the road. The street's totally empty, so you look both ways and just make a run for it. It's just faster, it's more efficient. It's also illegal pretty much everywhere. It's called jaywalking, of course. And while it might seem silly on an empty street, those rules exist to create a predictable flow of traffic for both cars and people, which helps prevent accidents. And that's all 7. So what's the final tally? Let's circle back to that first question I asked you. Do you still feel like that squeaky clean, law-abiding citizen you thought you were at the beginning? Now, look, the point of this isn't to say that we're all bad people.
The real takeaway is that our society kind of runs on this unspoken agreement that these minor laws usually won't be enforced. The system sort of trusts that most of us aren't doing these things with bad intentions.
But it really makes you think, doesn't it? What other invisible laws are out there that we're all probably breaking every single day without ever giving it a second thought?